Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. This is another thing that I feel like I need to catch you up to speed on, because it is spring, and whenever we do something here that works out well, I just want to share it. I mean, I feel compelled to share it because it's a great advantage that a person can get by doing something like this. Now, this was the brooder project. If you remember last year, this brooder, it's 8 by 10. It's freestanding, you know, steel roof, 2 by 4 construction. I think I would do that again. It's got a little door in front. I've just built this little shelf on the back to hold the propane tank. And then there's a brooder light inside, which is called a hover. And you can find them, we get them from Stromberg's. And it's a propane thermostatically controlled light. Now, when you saw this last, it had raw insulation on the outside because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. We built it kind of quick because we needed it, and it had some bugs in it, and we feel as though we've worked some of those out. And some of them were just ease of operation. Some just little things that needed to be fixed on it, and I felt as though it needed to have some siding on it to keep the chicks away from the insulation. You put this siding, it's just that cheap outdoor siding, and then we'll lather the paint on there really good. This is just regular steel, and then the top there's a skylight, and I don't know if that's how it's designed to be worked, but we just kind of wrapped it over the top, and then the front of it looks like this. Nothing to write home about. I'm going to put some board and bat up there on the top and the doorway, and I need something to close the door and hold it closed. But let's go in, shall we? All right. The door's kind of low. I think I would do that a little differently next time. But see, there's plenty of light in here from this skylight. And that actually works as a solar collector too. In the summertime, this stays really, really warm. And if it's warm, that turns off. It's on a thermostat. But right now in here, it's got to be 70 degrees, and it's really cold outside. It's below freezing outside, and it's a good 70 in here. And the beauty of this is a couple things. All right, there's a couple things that are really great about this. All right, it's freestanding, so that means I built it on skids, so I can hook the tractor onto a truck, something, and I can pull it. There's no floor in this. See that? There'll be snow outside, and there'll be bare ground in here, and you might think, well, it's really gonna soak up a lot of the heat. Well, what we do is we put down shavings, and I put them down thick, and those shavings will act as insulation from ground. Then I have these windows. My son Joe made those, and they flip up in the summertime if it gets too hot in here, and it does. Now, what's beautiful about having no floor in this and making it skiddable is I can do a load of chicks in here. Right now, there's only 50 in here, and that's a sad story. The U.S. Post Office, I think it's a conspiracy, but they sent my chicks to Indiana instead of Michigan. And then they wound up here a week later, and only 50 of them made it. I'm surprised any of them made it. But we got to take care of these ones. I got another load coming today, a regular size load. But the beauty is I can brood chicks in here, and they're usually in here for 3 weeks, and then they go out of here directly out into the chicken tractors. And the day that they go out, we will hook onto this thing, pull it forward, and we have fresh ground. So there's no cleaning at all, none at all. And I usually have this out on the field near the chicken tractors, very close to the chicken tractors, because there are water lines in here that we have to consider. See these, remember our water lines that we use. I don't have it hooked up right now, we're doing it by hand, but we want this out on the field right next to the chicken tractor, so you know you can load up 75 of these tiny little birds in one chicken crate, walk it over to a tractor and empty it into there, and that's it. There's no vehicle involved, there's no fuel consumption or anything like that. It's very economical and all that stuff, and we want to be concerned with that. So this has been an excellent project. I think I will continue to improve this. I'm going to do some painting in here, get this OSB covered up, and I may, along the edges down by the floor, I may go along, see we painted that because we didn't want it to absorb any moisture from the chicks. I may go along and put interior steel in here, and that will give it a little bit more insulation. I don't think you can be too insulated, honestly. Now we have to be vented on the roof up here, but even when I touch this, there's moisture. So all of their respiration is able to go out on a